Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to basically shatter everything you thought you knew about the animal kingdom. Seriously, we spend a lot of time assuming we've got the creatures we share this planet with all figured out, but nature has a really funny way of completely defying our expectations. Today, we're going on a visual journey through some of the most mind-bending biological realities out there. Let's get right into it. I want you to really ask yourself, do you think you know the animals in your own backyard? Do you fully understand the gentle giants of the ocean? Or even the everyday bugs on your windshield? We need to forget the storybooks, forget the common myths. We're going to look at the hard, fascinating facts drawn straight from the latest biological research. So buckle up, because everything you know about the animal kingdom is about to change.
Section 1. Aquatic Giants, Hippos and Whales.
Okay, let's dive into this. Now, you might think hippos and whales have absolutely nothing in common, besides just being massive, right? But let's start with the hippopotamus. If we break down the root of the word, hippo actually means horse, and potamus means water. So quite literally, it translates to water horse. Now, the water part, spot on. They spend up to 16 hours a day completely submerged. But the horse part? Yeah, totally misleading. Actually, even though they look kind of like oversized pigs, their closest living relatives are, you guessed it, whales. But here is where the expectation completely crashes into reality. You look at an animal that spends 16 hours a day on the water, and you naturally assume it's a great swimmer. Wrong. Hippos actually do not know how to swim at all. Their bodies are incredibly dense, way too dense to float. So what do? They literally just walk. Or, well, playfully hop along the river bottom. And trust me, you definitely do not want to bump into one while it's taking a stroll. A hippo can open its mouth a full 180 degrees. Inside that massive gape, which, by the way, is literally large enough to fit an entire grizzly bear, are fangs that can grow up to 2 feet long. Combine that with a bite force so incredibly strong it can crush a bowling ball like a piece of candy. And yeah, you quickly realize these water horses are basically aquatic tanks. So let's shift from the hippo over to its closest evolutionary cousin, the whale. Specifically, the blue whale, the absolute largest animal to ever exist on Earth. Because they're mammals, they feed their young milk. But this is not your average milk. A blue whale calf drinks over 200 liters of milk every single day. And it's not a liquid like we're used to. It is incredibly thick, with a consistency almost like toothpaste. And what exactly does 200 liters of toothpaste-thick milk get you? It gets you a staggering 10 pounds. That is how much a blue whale calf grows every single hour. They pack on around 200 pounds a day just by eating this super nutrient-dense milk. It's a biological growth rate that just completely defies comprehension. Now, what's really interesting about this is that it brings us to one of our biggest myths. You see a blue whale and you just naturally think it could swallow a ship whole. But reality is so much weirder. A blue whale can hold its entire body weight in water inside its massive mouth. But its throat, it's only about 8 inches wide. It feeds entirely on tiny krill because it literally cannot swallow anything larger. A large fish would choke it. So no, a blue whale absolutely cannot swallow a school bus. And you know, their massive scale isn't just physical. It's acoustic too. A blue whale's mating call fits 188 decibels, which can be heard by other whales thousands of miles away. But then look at the sperm whale. It produces a clicking sound at a staggering 240 decibels. To put that into perspective, if a human were swimming next to a sperm whale when it clicked, that sound wave is so intensely loud it would permanently damage your ears. Crazy, right? Section 2. Lizards that defy logic. All right, let's shift gears. These reptiles have been on Earth for at least 300 million years, which actually means dinosaurs looked like lizards, not the other way around. And with all that time, they've developed a bizarre survival toolkit. Now, we all know some lizards drop their tails to distract predators, but did you know they often return to the scene of the crime later to eat their own detached tail? It acts as a crucial fat reserve. Or how about the basilisk lizard, aptly nicknamed the Jesus Christ lizard, because it can literally walk on water. Plus, to conserve water, many lizards don't pee liquid, they excrete solid white urine. And the absolute wildest? Horned lizards can shoot real blood from their eyes up to 5 feet away to confuse predators. Evolution is just wildly creative. But hey, here is a practical distinction you might actually need one day. Many lizard species don't have legs, so they just look exactly like snakes. How do you tell the difference without getting, way too close? It's simple. Snakes don't have ear holes and they don't have eyelids. So if you're staring down a slithery creature in the dirt and it winks at you, congratulations, you've just met a legless lizard. And the incredible adaptations just keep coming. Think about the number 30. That represents the number of minutes a marine iguana can hold its breath. They are the only lizards that dive into the ocean for food, swimming up to 100 feet deep just to graze on algae and seaweed. To put that into perspective, a 30-minute breath hold would even impress a blue whale.
Section 3. Grasshoppers and Killer Sparrows.
From the oceans and ancient reptiles, let's scale things all the way down to the creatures right in your own backyard, starting with the common grasshopper. Honestly, you'd think we were describing an alien. They have 5 eyes, and their 2 ears are located entirely in their abdomen. They bleed green blood. If they fall in water, they don't drown. They can actually swim out and fly away. And their appetite? It's terrifying. They eat 16 times their body weight every single day. And if they run out of plants, yes, they turn into cannibals and eat other grasshoppers. Let's move to the next point and see how this builds, because this cannibalistic appetite leads to one of nature's great terrors. A locust is not actually a separate insect. When grasshoppers get highly crowded, it triggers an instinctual panic over food scarcity. Their biology literally transforms. They change color, they swarm, and they fly together, devouring all vegetation in their path. So a biblical plague is really just a bunch of very stressed, very hungry grasshoppers. Now, what about the cute little sparrows chirping on your fence? Well, prepare to have their innocent image ruined forever. Sparrows are incredibly aggressive and highly territorial, especially during mating season. These little backyard birds are ruthless killers. Scientists have reported them brutally fighting and killing over 70 different species of birds, including swallows and starlings. No way, right? And the sparrow's biology is just as confusing as its aggression. There are exactly 4 sexes of the white-throated sparrow. It's a true classification marvel that has scrambled the assumptions of ornithologists for years. Researchers literally categorize them into 2 male types and 2 female types. It just goes to show how complex even the most ordinary creatures truly are.
Section 4. The truth about Santa's reindeer.
So we're moving to our final topic, and I gotta warn you, it might permanently change how you view a major piece of holiday pop culture forever. Reindeer are absolute marvels of winter adaptation. During the summer, their eyes are golden. But as winter approaches, their eyes physically shift to a deep blue. This incredible change makes their eyes highly light sensitive, allowing them to see ultraviolet light. This helps them navigate the dark winter and easily spot the UV-absorbing lichen they eat, as well as the UV-absorbing fur of predatory wolves. Also, they have a dense network of blood vessels in their nose that acts like a built-in air heater. So a reindeer with a slightly reddish nose, that's actually based on scientific reality.
But here is the crucial point regarding their antler shedding schedule. Reindeer are the only deer species where both sexes grow antlers. If you look at the males, they shed their antlers after mating season in November. But the females, who are pregnant during the winter, retain theirs all the way until spring.
And this brilliantly illustrates our grand finale fact. Think about every depiction of Santa's sleigh in late December. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer. They are all depicted with full racks of antlers. Because adult males drop their antlers in November, that means Santa's entire team is technically made up of pregnant females. They are literally the only ones with antlers in December. The only possible exception is Rudolph, who wasn't part of the original mythology anyway and was added in 1939, so maybe he was just a young male who hadn't dropped his antlers yet. But the original crew, all-powerful pregnant females pulling that sleigh. We've covered water horses that can't swim, pregnant reindeer pulling sleighs, and lizards that cry blood. But I want to leave you with this final thought. Out in the ocean, there is a creature known as the 52 Hertz whale. It sings at a unique frequency no other whale uses. It has been calling out completely alone for over 30 years, waiting for a reply. So what does this all mean? Well, if our biggest oceanic giants and the sparrows right in our backyards are hiding realities this bizarre, strange, and melancholic, what else is waiting out there to be discovered? Keep questioning your expectations, keep seeking out the facts, and we'll see you on the next edition of The Explainer.